My co-anchor, Xoli Ngambi, is at our Tambo International Airport. When I spoke to you in the last hour, Xoli, there was hardly anybody there. What is the situation now?
Well, Jane, it's the same effect that we saw earlier in the day. People just one passenger who perhaps would not have seen the news or perhaps received messaging from SAA going to one of these counters that we are watching closely here, and very panicked, of course, to find out or to be told that there are no SAA flights. So that has been the situation there. But I can tell you that there's less and less of those people coming through. So I wonder if indeed the message has filtered through. But with me now, Jane, is the SAA spokesperson, Tladi, who speaks to us now. Tladi, importantly, the cancellation of the flights, it's today, which is Friday and Saturday. What happens if there's no resolution?
We have taken a decision to cancel flights for 2 days, which is today and tomorrow, whilst we keep an eye on the situation in terms of progress that we are making at the level of trying to break a deadlock insofar as negotiations on salary increases are concerned with labor. What we will do is to review the situation, and we will make an announcement during the course of the day today to indicate as to whether we will start operating from Sunday into the new week or not. That decision will be based on the updates that we are getting insofar as negotiations with labor are concerned.
And those negotiations with labor, we know where they are. In fact, if the very term negotiations, let's not use it because there are no negotiations taking place. What you have done instead is to take the matter to the CCMA, which is a voluntary process. Have the unions taken up that offer to go and try and resolve this through the CCMA?
I would like to stick to the term negotiation and not escalate the situation through the media. And there's a reason for that. We have been reaching out to labor, inviting them to sit with us around the table. And every single time we invited them, they responded positively. And that is encouraging for us. We have now taken a decision to embark on a Section 150 process in terms of Labor Relations Act. You are right. It is a voluntary process, and we have reached out to them. We are waiting for them to give us an indication as to whether they want to participate in that exercise. If they do, the CCMA is ready to commence the process from tomorrow.
What's your gauge to whether or not they are interested in the CCMA process? What will be your deadline?
Look, they are keeping an eye on their own interests, but at the same time, they have open minds in the sense that they are willing to meet with us. We have a litany of reference insofar as history is concerned, where at this point a number of trade unions would have walked away from the negotiating table. They continue to meet with us. However, the point that we are making is that we hope that parties will find a resolution soon, because the stalemate of this nature is hurting us operationally, and it will hurt our employees, because what we are saying is that the principle of no work, no pay will be put in place. What it means is that not only the airline will lose,
be put in place or is in place?
Users. No, we are saying it is in place in the event they are not going to report for duty. What that means is that the airline is hurt, the employees will hurt. It means all of us are
when
losers,
does the principle
and there will be
of no work, no pay start, Mr. Tladi?
The principle of no work, no pay applies the moment employees start embarking on a strike action.
That means it's in effect from today.
It is in effect for those who are participating in the strike.
The other element here is that the news filtering through now is that unions may possibly have extended their scope of demands. What was contingent on that non-striking or on that resolution to go on strike? Meaning, in simple terms, what did the certificate that was given to unions to say, yes, you can go on strike, what was that based on? What were the demands there?
The certificate of non-resolution was based on the fact that the union and the employer could not agree on salary increases where the demand was of an 8%. But now we are beginning to see certain things coming out of this deadlock,
such as?
Where they are presenting additional issues in terms of proposals, in terms of what the employer should do, and also referring to issues relating to the restructuring process. Restructuring is a separate process. It's a separate transaction on its own. It's not part of the certificate of non-resolution. They have decided to club all these things together, throw them into a single basket,
including
and present
demands
them.
that the board resigns, yes?
We have taken note of demands in the media that indicate that part of their demands are now that the union, the board should be removed and replaced with a new one. It's a new development, and it is not a matter that falls within the purview of management. It is the shareholder that can make a determination as to whether the board, as it is currently constituted, remains in place or it is replaced.
Tladi, SAA spokesperson, thanks indeed for making the time to talk to us here. Well, Jane, that's the situation. The latest, as you just heard from Tladi, that there seems to be new demands added to what has been the cause of this strike in the first place, which was the original issue of wages, the increase to wages. Now that has been expanded. There are demands that the board resign and that the restructuring process as well. Unions have a say in that, and SAA is saying that's not part and parcel of what you're striking for.